Warning, your channel has been suspended for severe violation of YouTube's policies. Your Etsy account has been suspended because you have been sued for copyright infringement. Attention, your TikTok account has been permanently banned. If you believe this to be a mistake, you can submit an appeal. Yep, I know that receiving these notifications are some of the most common nightmares that new entrepreneurs have when they start new AI side hustles. Because honestly, it is true. If you use AI in the wrong way, you can get into a lot of trouble. So then, with that in mind, let's go through some of the things that you need to know before you start an AI business. And the first one is this. Did you know that anyone is legally allowed to steal your AI generated content in the USA? Yep. So first of all though, I should clarify, I am not a lawyer. Nothing in this video is official legal advice. Instead, it is just me sharing what I have learned from my perspective. Okay, so with that legal disclaimer out of the way, let's get back to the video. So here's the thing. When you paint a picture, or you write an article, or you write a book, or you film a video for YouTube or for TikTok, it is, by default, protected by copyright law. Even if you don't officially register it, only you can redistribute it. But AI content is different. In the USA, it currently has no protection because, you see, in 2023, an AI artist, Ankit, tried to officially register a picture that he had co-created with AI with the USA Copyright Office. But both times, his 2 registration attempts were rejected, with the Copyright Office citing a previous ruling which determined that the originator of content must be human for it to be eligible for copyright protection. So while I am not a lawyer, what I think this basically means then is that in the USA, you can effectively steal this painting and sell it to USA customers as, say, wall art. And he can't sue you since he doesn't have any copyright protection for it. So then, Sarah, you might be thinking, how do I protect content and art that I make with AI then? And well, the answer is that for me, I usually take anything that AI creates for me and I give it human modification so that way anyone who would want to be stealing my content wouldn't be able to tell that it's been generated with AI to begin with. For example, instead of just asking ChatGPT to write me a video script and then use it as is, I'd go through and then rewrite it in my own human words. And for AI art, I very rarely sell it as is. Because AI art usually has odd imperfections, such as how this astronaut's feet are different colors and the logo on their arm is really weird looking. These imperfections usually make it very obvious that the picture is made with AI instead of being made by a human. So I go through and edit and tweak pictures in the free Photoshop clone Photopea to remove them so that you can't tell that it was made by AI. And something else that is important to know is that AI can also generate illegal content too if you ask it to. Yep, so for example, there was one ChatGPT user, Liam, he got sick of waiting for the next Game of Thrones novel to come out, so he decided to write it himself using ChatGPT, and then he uploaded it to GitHub for people to be able to read. And I'll tell you something, this did not go unnoticed. Nope, the Game of Thrones author George R.R. Martin saw it and he used it as part of his copyright lawsuit against ChatGPT and OpenAI. And as a result, Liam quickly removed his illegal novel from GitHub because he didn't want to get into any trouble, and so even if you wanted to read it, you can't because it's no longer available. The moral of the story here is that just because AI has generated something for you, don't assume that it's safe for you to use. It is up to you to not ask it to create something illegal like Liam did. And something else that could get you into trouble is that some AI apps don't let you use them to make money. Yep. Or at least their terms are confusing. So for example, take the incredibly powerful DALL-E 3 AI image generator. Well, Microsoft licensed DALL-E to use its technology in their free Bing Designer image generator, which means that you can, for free, use one of the most powerful AI art generators in the world through it, which is an absolute bargain, right? However, it comes with a catch. In their terms of service, Microsoft states that their app is for non-commercial, personal purposes. And I'll admit, as a layperson, this is quite confusing to read because from what I could see, the terms of services don't state that you can't use it for commercial purposes. But they certainly don't tell you that you can. But you know what? There are plenty of other AI apps out there that don't have confusing terms of services like this that you can use instead. For example, you can instead access DALL-E 3 through ChatGPT 4. In their terms of service, they clarified that yes, you can absolutely use images to resell and you don't have to ask them for permission to do so. So, I recommend reading the terms of service of any AI app before you use them for any side hustle or business. And something else that I think needs to be noted if you aren't careful is that AI apps can get expensive fast. Yep, so this here is a super popular YouTube video that you might have watched which outlined the best AI apps out there. Well, I went through each AI app while preparing this video and I added up the lowest cost plans for each app right now. And to my astonishment, it came out to $249.88 per month. And you have to keep in mind, that was for their lowest cost plans, which oftentimes isn't enough because for a lot of AI apps, their lowest cost plan doesn't give you enough credits to use. And if you want to use them, you end up having to pay for their more expensive plans. So for example, take the automated YouTube AI side hustle. You've quite likely seen a bunch of videos on YouTube explaining how to make faceless AI generated videos. Well, the most popular app currently to generate automated videos is InVideo AI. Currently, their lowest cost plan for their AI generator is $25 a month, but that only gets you 50 minutes of videos, which, if we do the maths then, means that there are 4 weeks in 1 month, which means then that if you want to put out 1 video per week, your videos would need to be a maximum of 12.5 minutes. But to be successful with this business, you often have to put out more videos than that, and your videos often have to be longer than that. Case in point, this is a YouTube channel I shared 2 months ago on this channel, and in those 2 months, it has grown by over 40,000 subscribers, and it's had over 1.4 million views in the past 30 days. It's made a lot of money, but as we can see by scrolling through their channel, they put out 1 video a day, not 1 video a week, and their videos are usually around 15 minutes long, not 12 minutes long. So to do this yourself, you'd actually need to instead upgrade to their max plan, which gives you more minutes and is $60 per month. Yep, so that is exactly why these days I try and look for free AI apps when I can. And there are lots of good ones out there. Canva has a free account which includes their AI-powered video editor, and ChatGPT 3.5 is still completely free, and for many side hustles, it's honestly perfect. Plus, I recently showcased in a video on this channel how anyone can download and install the free AI image generator, Stable Diffusion, and create stunning images like these for free. And by the way, if you'd like to learn more about how I take AI images like this and then sell them onto actual physical products like wall art and accessories for free to earn money online, then you can check out my free ebook, The 6 Steps to Earning $10,000 a Month. You will find a link to download my free ebook in the video description below. Lots of viewers have downloaded my ebook and found it super helpful. It even has a 4-star rating on Goodreads, so thank you to everyone that has taken the time to leave it a review. And speaking of my ebook, it actually leads me on to my next point, which is that sometimes it's faster to make money by not using AI. Yep, don't get me wrong, clearly I love AI, but I only use it when it actually makes sense to do so. So, case in point, as I have shared before on this channel in videos like this one, a side hustle that I personally do is I use Canva and ChatGPT to create print-on-demand products like t-shirts that I sell onto websites like Etsy for a profit. Well then, let's say that I was designing a t-shirt and I needed to have a cartoon of a cute smiling corgi face. Well, one option is I could come to Midjourney and then I could ask it to make me the corgi face, and I could wait for it to generate some options for me, and if I didn't like those options, I could then prompt it again a few more times to give myself some more options to pick from, and then once I had picked one, I then need to upscale it in Midjourney into HD, and then I'd need to upload it into Canva and use the background remover tool so that I could then add it into my design. So, you know, that is one option for me to get a cute smiling corgi face. But another option is I could instead just come to Canva and do a search for pre-installed corgi face clip art and then use one of the ones that are already installed inside of their massive image library. You think about it. The first option takes 5 minutes and the second option takes 5 seconds. So yeah, as much as I love AI, depending upon what you're making, sometimes doing it the old-fashioned way is just better. And this also brings me on to my next point, and that is that AI censorship can make some side hustles very, very difficult. Yep, so AI censorship has been a pretty controversial issue for a while now, but people are talking about it a lot again after Gizmodo recently ran a new AI test. They asked all of the major chatbots controversial questions, and then they recorded which ones refused to answer the questions the most. Google's chatbot, Gemini, easily refused the most, refusing to answer 10 controversial questions, compared to ChatGPT, which refused to just answer 3. Now, here's the thing, right? For a lot of you watching, this is probably something that you don't even need to worry about. Nope. If you're just making family-friendly automated videos about cooking tips, and you ask ChatGPT to write you a video script, you're gonna have no issues at all. But if you instead wanted to make a video in a niche that can have a lot of controversial topics, like true crime, then you might find that it's easier and quicker to just write the video scripts yourself, rather than trying to use AI to write them for you. And speaking of ChatGPT, that reminds me, did you know that soon many AI apps could actually be banned and shut down? Yeah, it's true. Several major AI apps out there have huge lawsuits pending against them, which, if they lose, could effectively get them shut down. For example, AI image generators, Midjourney and Stable Diffusion are facing a major copyright class action lawsuit from a group of artists. And as I said earlier in this video, ChatGPT is facing a class action copyright lawsuit that includes George R.R. Martin, plus other famous writers as well. But even more importantly, ChatGPT is also facing a huge lawsuit from the New York Times. Their lawsuit alleges that ChatGPT was trained by reading and making copies of their articles, which it then turns into data which it can then learn and train with. And it also alleges that ChatGPT can create articles that contain sections that are word for word identical to articles that their journalists have written. Yep, in their lawsuit, they provided this example. On the left is the output that ChatGPT gave them, and on the right is the original article that their journalist wrote. The sections in red are the sections of identical text. As you can see, the majority of it is identical. Now, ChatGPT's company, OpenAI, allege in response that the New York Times hired technicians to sit there and prompt ChatGPT for tens of thousands of different times to craft an extremely specific prompt to get this output that they included in their lawsuit, and that no one would have accidentally gotten ChatGPT to create this, which I honestly absolutely believe. But that doesn't change the fact that this effectively does prove that ChatGPT does have copies of New York Times articles inside of its training data. And here is where it gets really interesting. In their lawsuit, New York Times asked the courts to order the destruction of ChatGPT, not just financial compensation. Nope, they asked for the destruction of ChatGPT. So yeah, it's pretty dramatic, isn't it? And actually, I'm pretty curious, who do you side with here? Do you side with the New York Times, or do you instead side with ChatGPT? Let me know in the comments. Either way, there's something that's important to keep in mind, and that is this: ChatGPT is not the only chatbot out there. Nope, you've got Google's Gemini, you've got Microsoft's Copilot, and you've got Elon Musk's Grok. And the same with AI image generators. Midjourney isn't the only one in town. Nope, you have others like DALL-E 3, Leonardo AI, and Adobe's Firefly. All of these have been trained in their own different ways, which is why they aren't being included in the lawsuits. And so my recommendation is to not get too attached to any specific app. Be prepared and willing to move to a new one if you have to. You also need to be willing to go through and check the facts that AI apps tell you as well, since they will lie to you a lot. Yep, so to test ChatGPT's truthfulness, I came and asked it to generate for me 20 quiz questions on the video game company Nintendo, as I'm a Nintendo fanatic, so that I could go and check its answers. And immediately for question 1, ChatGPT got it wrong. So it asked me what year Nintendo was founded, and it said that the correct answer was 1985, when in actual fact, the correct answer is 1889. Yes, Nintendo was indeed founded in 1889 as a company that made card games instead of video games, since obviously video games didn't exist back then. So I kept scrolling through the questions, and as much as I hate to admit this because it definitely shows my age, on question 6, I noticed that again it was wrong because it asked what character was not playable in Super Smash Bros. And it said that the correct answer was Yoshi, which I absolutely knew was wrong because back in 1999, when this game was released, I loved it and rented it whenever I could, and I'd often play as Yoshi, which is why I knew that the actual correct answer is in fact Bowser. Now, to be fair to ChatGPT, most of the answers it gave me for these quiz questions were indeed correct, but as you can see, it still makes mistakes. So something else that I like to do is I like to use ChatGPT itself to fact check it. Re-ask it a question multiple times and see if it gives you different answers. When I kept re-asking ChatGPT this question over and over again, it always gave me the same actual correct answer, which was Bowser. So that's a good sign that you'd want to go and check ChatGPT's original answer to see which is true. And for that, using websites like Wikipedia, which use citations to prove their facts, is something that I like to do. So then, if you'd like to learn how I combine Canva and ChatGPT together to earn money online, be sure to watch my next video here on screen, and I'll see you in the next video.